Devon's arrest made national news. Datacorp VP arrested in $30 million fraud scheme. The story was everywhere: CNN, Fox News, social media. But the reporters were asking the wrong questions. They wanted to know how Devon had been caught, who had exposed him, how the evidence had mysteriously appeared on the company server. I watched the coverage from my mother's living room, Arya sitting beside me doing homework. "Mom, isn't that your old company?" she asked, pointing at the TV. "Yes, sweetheart." I'm staring at a man who's about to lose everything. He's begging me to save him. What he doesn't know is that I'm the reason he's dying. 3 years ago, this billionaire destroyed my life with a single phone call. Today I'm watching him make the call that will destroy his. You want to know what that call was about? You want to know how a nobody like me got close enough to a billionaire to watch him crumble? You want to know what I did that was so devastating, so perfectly planned, that he had no choice but to call the one person who could save him? Here's the thing: that person doesn't exist. But he doesn't know that yet. My name is Maya, and I'm about to tell you the most impossible revenge story you've ever heard. 3 years ago, I had everything: a good job at Datacorp, a corner office on the 10th floor, respect from my team of 12 analysts. I was climbing the ladder one promotion at a time. My daughter Arya was proud of me. At 15, she would tell her friends that her mom was a financial detective who caught bad people stealing money. She never knew how close to the truth she was. Arya was brilliant, straight A's in advanced classes, captain of the debate team, already talking about Harvard Law School. My ex-husband David had left us when Arya was 10, claiming I was too focused on work and not enough on being a proper wife. He moved to California with his secretary and rarely called. But even he admitted I had made something of myself when he saw my Datacorp business cards. My mother Eleanor had immigrated from Manchester, England, with nothing but dreams and determination. She worked double shifts at a textile factory to put me through college. "Love," she would say in her soft British accent, "education is the only thing they can never take from you." She lived in a small apartment downtown, proud that her daughter had achieved the American dream she sacrificed everything for. Then VP Devon Cross happened. Devon wasn't just any VP, he was the golden boy of Datacorp. Everyone loved him. The board trusted him with million-dollar deals. Clients flew in just to shake his hand. He drove a black Mercedes and wore suits that cost more than most people's monthly salary. But I knew his secret. I saw what others couldn't see. Late nights in the office, I noticed things: fake invoices buried in quarterly reports, mysterious offshore transfers labeled as consulting fees, client bribes hidden in encrypted folders, with innocent names like holiday bonuses and team-building funds. Devon was stealing millions from the company. And when I tried to report it to HR, he crushed me like a bug. "Maya, your performance has been deeply concerning," Devon said that cold December morning. His smile was fake as plastic. His eyes were ice cold. "Your reports have errors. Your team doesn't respect you. Clients are complaining. All lies, every single word. We're letting you go, effective immediately." Just like that, 20 years of building my career gone. My reputation destroyed, my future erased. "Please," I begged. "Give me another chance. I have a daughter. I have bills." Devon leaned back in his leather chair. "Maya, sometimes people just aren't cut out for corporate life. Maybe you should try something simpler." The security guard escorted me out like a criminal. My colleagues stared from their desks. Some looked sorry. Most looked relieved it wasn't them. I drove home in my old Honda, crying so hard I had to pull over twice. But Devon made one terrible mistake. He thought I would stay quiet.
He thought I would disappear into the shadows like his other victims. He was dead wrong. The next year was hell.
No company would hire me. Devon had poisoned the well. He told everyone I was unstable and unreliable. He spread rumors that I had stolen client information. I lost my apartment. Arya and I moved in with my mother in her cramped one-bedroom place. 3 generations of women squeezed into 400 square feet. Arya slept on the couch, doing homework on the kitchen table. My brilliant daughter, who used to have her own room with a computer and bookshelves, now kept her clothes in garbage bags. I worked 3 part-time jobs just to buy groceries, cashier at the supermarket during morning shifts, data entry at night in a windowless basement office, weekend cleaning lady for rich families who treated me like I was invisible. Arya never complained, not once. She just studied harder, as if perfect grades could somehow fix our broken life. She tutored younger kids for $5 an hour, giving me every penny. "It's okay, Mom," she would say, hugging me when I cried. "We'll get through this." My mother sold her jewelry, the few pieces she had brought from England, to help pay for Arya's school supplies. "This is temporary, love," she would whisper to both of us in her gentle Manchester accent. "Maya is strong. She will find a way." Every night, I stared at the ceiling and thought about Devon, living in his mansion in the hills, driving his Mercedes to country clubs, stealing money while my daughter wore second-hand clothes and pretended not to care. That's when I decided I would destroy him, not just expose him. Destroy him completely. But I couldn't do it as Maya Carter, the disgraced ex-employee. I needed to become someone else, someone Devon would trust, someone he would never suspect. I spent every free hour learning about digital forensics. I took online courses using my mother's computer. I studied encryption, server systems, data recovery. I learned how criminals hide their tracks and how to uncover them. By year 2, I had created a new identity, Kai Chun, freelance tech expert. I built fake credentials, client testimonials, even a professional website. I became the kind of person who could make digital problems disappear, the kind of person Devon would need when his world started falling apart. I practiced changing my voice, my mannerisms, my entire personality. I bought colored contacts, different clothes, even learned to walk differently. Mia Carter was gone, Kai Chun was born, and Kai Chun was exactly who Devon Cross would hire to save himself. 3 years later, I sat in my car outside DataCorp, watching Devon pace on the sidewalk. His phone was pressed to his ear.
His face
Was red with panic. His perfectly styled hair was messy. Beautiful, he was finally scared. Word had been spreading about a security breach, rumors of leaked data, missing files. Someone had been asking questions about financial irregularities. I had started those rumors, anonymous tips to tech blogs. Fake whistleblower emails, nothing traceable to me but enough to make Devon sweat. He knew his dirty secrets were in danger. He needed help. Fast. Professional help. My phone buzzed.
text from Alex, hook, line, and sinker. He took the bait.
Meeting him at Cafe Luna tonight at 11. I smiled for the first time in 3 years. After all this planning, all this waiting, phase 1 was finally complete. Devon Cross was about to hire his own destroyer. That night at 11 p.m. in Cafe Luna, Alex sat across from Devon in the darkest corner of the coffee shop. I listened from my car through Alex's hidden microphone, my hands shaking with anticipation. "I heard you can make problems disappear," Devon whispered, looking around nervously. "Depends on the problem," Alex replied calmly. Devon leaned forward. "I need some files cleaned up, digital files. Financial records that could be misinterpreted." "How misinterpreted?" "Look, I've been moving some company funds around. For investment purposes. Legitimate investments. But the paperwork might look suspicious to people who don't understand complex financial structures." Alex nodded slowly. "What kind of funds are we talking about?" "Millions," Devon admitted. "Maybe 20, 30 million over 5 years.
My
Heart nearly exploded. $30 million. He had stolen $30 million while I was cleaning toilets to pay for my daughter's school supplies. "I can handle it," Alex said. "But this level of cleanup ... It's going to cost you." "Money is not a problem," Devon replied quickly. "I have offshore accounts, Swiss banks. I can pay whatever you need, 200,000. Half now, half when it's done." Devon didn't even blink. "Deal." As they shook hands, I felt electricity run through my body. The man who destroyed my life was about to pay for his own destruction. And he had no idea. In week 1 of the cleanup performance, Alex started work immediately. Every morning he arrived at DataCorp as Devon's IT consultant. He had full access to Devon's personal servers, his encrypted files, his hidden folders. Devon watched eagerly as Alex deleted file after file. "How much longer?" Devon would ask every day. "Almost done," Alex would reply. "Just need to scrub a few more servers." These things take time to do properly. But while Alex was deleting files from Devon's view, he was actually copying everything first. Every fake invoice, every bribe record, every offshore transaction, every piece of evidence that would send Devon to prison for the rest of his life. Devon thought his crimes were disappearing. In reality, they were being preserved forever. I met Alex every evening at different locations around the city, small diners, empty parking lots, park benches. "Today I found the Goldman account," Alex would report. 15 million in bribes from the Henderson deal. "Today I recovered the Cayman Islands transfers. 8 million moved in fake consulting fees. Today I found emails where he admits to bribing Senator Williams. Each day brought new horrors." Devon wasn't just stealing from Data Corp. He was bribing politicians, laundering money through fake charities, selling company secrets to competitors. "My ex-boss wasn't just corrupt, he was a monster." By Friday, Alex had everything, 3 massive hard drives full of evidence, enough to put Devon away for 50 years. "Phase 1 complete," Alex said, sliding a flash drive across the table. 3 years of crimes, all documented, all verified. I held the tiny device in my trembling hands. This little piece of plastic contained Devon's entire criminal empire, his bank records, his emails, his confessions. "What's phase 2? Alex asked. I looked up at him, feeling something cold and hard settle in my chest. "We make him feel completely safe. Then we destroy him in front of the whole world." Week 2 was about the false security. "Alex, you're a miracle worker," Devon said on Monday morning, practically dancing around his office. "The servers are completely clean. The audit trails show nothing. The FBI could search for years and find nothing." Alex smiled modestly. "Just doing what you paid me for. I'm going to recommend you to all my contacts. You saved my entire life." Devon was so happy he gave Alex a bonus $50,000. Blood money paid with stolen funds. But that night, Alex was doing his real job. He was carefully placing all of Devon's crimes back onto DataCorp's main server. Not in Devon's personal folder where only he could see them, but in the shared company drive where everyone had access. He created a folder called Urgent Executive, Financial Review Confidential. He made it look like someone from accounting had accidentally saved sensitive audit documents in the wrong location. The folder contained everything: bank records showing 30 million in stolen funds, email chains where Devon discussed bribes with clients, invoices for fake consulting services, photos of cash handoffs in parking garages. My phone rang at 3 a.m. Alex's voice was excited but quiet. "It's done. The files are live on the server. By tomorrow morning, half the company will have seen them." I couldn't sleep. I walked around my mother's house, checking the locks, straightening furniture, making coffee I wouldn't drink. Tomorrow everything would change. Tomorrow Devon Cross would finally pay. Monday morning was a reveal day. I arrived at DataCorp at 8:30 a.m. Not as an employee, I was banned from the building, but as a potential client meeting with the sales team. I had called pretending to represent a small company interested in their services. The security guard gave me a visitor's badge. I sat in the lobby, pretending to read magazines while watching the elevators. At 9:17 a.m., Jenny from accounting made the discovery. "Holy shit," she whispered to her cubicle neighbor Tom. "Look at this folder, these bank records. These can't be real." "Is that Devon's signature?" Tom asked, leaning over to look at her screen. "It looks like it, but these numbers ... He's been stealing millions." Word spread through the office like wildfire. Within 30 minutes, small groups were huddled around computers, whispering and pointing at screens. 20 million to offshore accounts, fake invoices for consulting services. Look at this email where he admits bribing the mayor. Devon arrived at 10:15 a.m., whistling and carrying his usual coffee. He had no idea his world was about to explode. "Good morning, everyone," he called out cheerfully, walking toward the elevator. but something was wrong. People weren't responding. Conversation stopped when he walked by. His usual admirers avoided eye contact. His assistant Linda approached him with a pale face. "Sir, there's something urgent you need to see." She led him to her computer. The folder was open on her screen. Devon's face went from confused to white to green in about 5 seconds. "Where did this come from?" he whispered, gripping the desk. "It was just this morning," Linda replied nervously. "In the shared drive? Someone must have put it there by accident." Devon's hands started shaking violently. This wasn't possible. Alex had deleted everything. The servers were clean. The evidence was gone. He grabbed his phone and called Alex with trembling fingers. "We have a fucking problem," he hissed into the phone. "Those files, they're back. They're on the company server." Alex's voice was perfectly calm. "That's impossible, Devon. I deleted everything personally." "Well, they're here," Devon screamed, causing half the office to turn and stare. "Every document, every bank record, every goddamn email. Fix this right now." But Alex's number went straight to voicemail. Devon tried again. And again, nothing. That's when the truth started creeping into his mind. Alex wasn't answering because Alex didn't want to answer. Alex had betrayed him. But why? Who was Alex really working for? By 11 a.m., Chairman Davis had called an emergency board meeting. Devon sat at the mahogany conference table, sweat staining his expensive shirt, watching board members scroll through his crimes on their tablets. "Devon," Davis said slowly, "we need to discuss these financial documents that appeared on our server this morning." "I don't know anything about them," Devon lied desperately. "Someone is obviously trying to frame me, maybe a competitor. Maybe a disgruntled employee." Board member Patricia Wong held up her tablet. "This email is from your personal account. It's dated last month. You're discussing a $2 million bribe to the Harbor Commission. That email is fake. Anyone can fake emails nowadays." "What about these bank records?" asked board member Robert Kim. "They show transfers from our corporate accounts to your personal offshore accounts. 37 transfers over 5 years. Devon felt the room spinning. "I can explain all of that. Those were legitimate business investments." "Investments in what?" Davis asked coldly. Devon opened his mouth, but no words came out. He had no explanation, no excuse, no way out. "We're launching a full internal investigation," Davis announced. "Effective immediately, you are suspended without pay pending the results." Devon's world collapsed in that moment. His corner office, his company car, his executive privileges, his reputation. Everything he had built through crime and corruption was crumbling. "You can't do this," he protested weakly. "I've given this company 5 years of record profits." "With stolen money," Wong replied icily. "Security will escort you out." As Devon packed his personal items into a cardboard box, his hands shaking,
He kept trying to call Alex. The number was still disconnected.
that's when Devon finally understood. Alex wasn't his savior. Alex was his destroyer. But who had sent Alex? Who wanted Devon Cross destroyed? Within 72 hours, the FBI was involved. Agent Martinez knocked on Devon's door at 6 a.m. on Thursday morning, flanked by 6 federal agents. "Devon Cross, you are under arrest for fraud, embezzlement, money laundering, bribery, and conspiracy." As they put handcuffs on his wrists, Devon thought about Alex, the mysterious tech fixer who had appeared exactly when Devon needed help. The man who had promised to save him but had actually documented every one of his crimes. "Who hired you?" Devon whispered to the empty house as the agents led him away. "Who wanted me destroyed?" He would never find out. But I was watching from my car across the street, and I knew exactly who had hired Alex. Me, Maya Carter. The woman whose life he had destroyed 3 years ago. Seeing Devon in handcuffs should have felt like victory. Instead, I felt hollow, empty, like I had been holding my breath for 3 years and could finally exhale. My phone rang. Alex's voice was quiet. "How do you feel?" "I don't know," I admitted honestly. "I thought revenge would feel more satisfying." "Maybe it's not about satisfaction," Alex said thoughtfully. "Maybe it's about justice. About stopping someone who hurt people," He was right. This wasn't just about my ruined career anymore. In those files, we had found evidence of Devon hurting dozens of people. Employees he had fired for getting too close to the truth. Competitors he had destroyed with stolen information. Politicians he had corrupted with bribes. There's something else, Alex continued. The journalist I leaked everything to wants to interview you, the whole story. How Devon destroyed your career. How you planned this. The public needs to hear. Your side, my heart stopped. Go public. With my name. Think about it, Maya. You're not the villain here. You're the hero who stopped a monster. I thought about Arya, my daughter. She was starting high school next year. Would she be proud of me, or embarrassed that her mother had planned an elaborate revenge scheme? I need time to think, I said. Don't take too long. This story is going to come out eventually. Better if it comes from you. Devon's arrest made national news. Data Corp VP arrested in $30 million fraud scheme. The story was everywhere, CNN, Fox News, social media. But the reporters were asking the wrong questions. They wanted to know how Devon had been caught, who had exposed him, how the evidence had mysteriously appeared on the company server. I watched the coverage from my mother's living room, Arya sitting beside me doing homework. Mom, isn't that your old company? She asked, pointing at the TV. Yes, sweetheart. Did you know this guy who stole all the money? I paused.
He was
my boss, before I lost my job. Arya looked at me with her serious 15-year-old eyes. Is that why you lost your job? Because you found out he was stealing? I had never told her the real reason I was fired. I had said there were budget cuts and corporate restructuring. But Arya was smart. She had always known there was more to the story. Something like that, I said softly. Good, she said firmly. I'm glad he got caught. People who steal from companies are stealing from their employees too. That's when I made my decision. I called the reporter. Reporter Lisa Kim met me at a small cafe downtown. Her recorder sat between us on the wooden table. Her eyes were focused and serious. Tell me about Devon Cross, she said. I took a deep breath. Devon was more than just a thief. He was a destroyer of people. When I discovered his crimes 3 years ago and tried to report them to HR, he didn't just fire
me.
He destroyed my reputation so completely that no company in the city would hire me. What did you discover? Everything. Fake invoices, offshore accounts, bribery schemes. He was stealing millions while employees were getting laid off due to budget constraints. People lost their jobs so Devon could buy a third vacation home. So you decided to expose him? I decided someone had to stop him. The system had failed. HR protected him instead of investigating. The board trusted him completely. Law enforcement had no idea he existed. How did you plan the operation? I spent 3 years learning digital forensics. I found Alex through networks of freelance tech experts. We created a plan that would use Devon's own paranoia and desperation against him. Lisa leaned forward. You made him hire the person who would expose him. Exactly. Devon was so terrified of being caught that he paid a stranger $200,000 to hide his crimes. But that stranger was actually documenting everything. Devon literally paid for his own destruction. Do you have any regrets? I thought carefully before answering. I regret that it took 3 years. I regret that Devon was able to hurt more people while I was planning this. I regret that the system failed so completely that vigilante justice seemed like the only option. But you don't regret stopping him? Never. Devon Cross was a predator who used his position to steal from hardworking people. He needed to be stopped. And if the system wouldn't stop him, someone had to. What's next for you? I smiled for the first time during the interview. I've got job offers, lots of them. Cybersecurity firms want the woman who outsmarted a corporate criminal. Companies want someone who can spot internal fraud before it grows too big. And Devon? Devon is going to prison for a very long time. The FBI found evidence of crimes going back 8 years. $57 million stolen. 16 people's careers destroyed. 4 politicians bribed. He'll probably die behind bars. Lisa turned off her recorder. Off the record was it? Worth it? The 3 years of planning? The risk? The cost? I thought about Arya, proud of her mother for stopping a criminal. I thought about the DataCorp employees who would get their pension money back. I thought about the politicians who would be investigated for taking bribes. Yes, I said simply. It was worth every minute. Devon Cross was sentenced to 25 years in federal prison. The judge called his crimes a betrayal of corporate trust on an unprecedented scale. I sat in the back of the courtroom, watching as they led him away in shackles. He looked smaller somehow, older. His expensive suits were gone, replaced by an orange jumpsuit. As he passed my row, Devon's eyes met mine. For a moment his face showed recognition, then confusion, then the slow, horrible realization of who I was, Maya Carter. The woman he had fired, the woman whose life he had destroyed, the woman who had destroyed him in return.
His mouth opened as if to speak, but the guards kept moving.
I watched until he disappeared through the courthouse doors. After 3 years of planning and 6 months of legal proceedings, it was finally over. Devon Cross was gone forever. I accepted a position as Director of Internal Security at CyberGuard Solutions. My job is helping companies detect fraud before it spreads. I make more money than I ever did at DataCorp. Arya started at a good high school. She tells her friends that her mother is the woman who caught the DataCorp thief. She's proud of me. That means everything. My mother moved to a nicer apartment in a safer neighborhood. She doesn't have to worry about money anymore. Alex started his own digital investigation company. We work together sometimes, helping other companies find their hidden criminals. On quiet Sunday mornings, I sometimes think about Marcus, sitting in his cell, eating prison food, wearing prison clothes, probably still wondering how that helpful tech fixer had turned out to be his worst nightmare. I hope he thinks about me. I hope he remembers the woman whose career he destroyed for trying to do the right thing. I hope he realizes that some people don't disappear quietly. Some people fight back. Some people win. But mostly, I don't think about Devon Cross anymore. He took 3 years of my life. I won't give him another minute. I have a new career, a happy daughter, a peaceful life. And Devon Cross is exactly where he belongs. Behind bars, forever. Justice, it turns out, really is a dish best served cold. But revenge? Revenge is even sweeter when it's served perfectly,